All right, number 6. This is from section 4.3, so we just have a review. We're going to find intervals on which f is increasing and decreasing. Just good to practice finding derivatives of functions. So we are given negative 12x to the 5th plus 90x to the 4th minus 100x cubed. All right, we're going to find the derivative. Using the power rule, we'll get a negative 60x to the 4th. 4 times 9 is 36, so we'll get 360x to the 3rd, and then minus 300x squared. We're going to set this equal to 0. I think all of these are divisible by 60. We need the leading term to be positive, so we'll divide out a negative 60x squared. This is going to allow us to find the critical value. So this will be x squared divided by negative 60. So this will become a negative 6x. Negative 60 will be plus 5. All right. So this is a factor. This we can probably factor again. So 1 times 5 is 5. Factors of 5 are 1 and 5. That's it. They do in fact add to give us 6. So the negative 60x squared will give us x. The 1 and the 5 both need to be negative because I need to add to a negative 6. And negative times a negative will give us a positive 5. Okay, so from here we'll get critical values. X equals 0 from this. X equals positive 1 and x equals positive 5. All right. Make a number line. Negative infinity to positive infinity, and we'll put 0, 1, and 5. So we're going to determine increasing, decreasing by picking some test points. So over here, let's just say negative 1. In between here, let's say a half, 0.5. Between here, we can do a positive 2, and then let's do 10. Try to pick some even, easy to work with numbers if possible, or leave it as small as possible. So if I plug in a negative 1 to every x that we have, we're just trying to find sign, positive or negative. A negative 1 here is going to, whatever number I plug here is going to be positive because it's squared. It's going to become negative because of this. So my first sign is going to be a negative times negative minus a negative is still going to be another negative. So negative times a negative. Right now it's positive. A negative 1 here will give me another negative. Negative, negative, negative. This is negative. So we are decreasing from negative infinity to 0. Using 1/2 now. Plug in 1/2. Again, this first sign is always going to be negative. I can go ahead and put that for every term and just check these. Positive 1/2 will still leave this term negative. And then a positive 1/2 will still leave that term negative. So function is still decreasing between 0 and 1. Between 1 and 5, we'll use 2. Again, the first sign is negative. Plug in a 2. It will become positive. And then plug in a 2 here. That still is negative. So we get a negative times a negative is a positive. So it changes to increasing here. And then we will plug in 10. So first one negative, 10, this is going to be positive. 10, this is also going to be positive. So negative, positive, positive, this will be negative, so it will be decreasing. So we're looking at decreasing. We can just say from negative infinity all the way to 1. Then increasing, also decreasing from 5 to infinity. And increasing from 1 to 5. All right. a function is decreasing on the interval, the function is never increasing. Function is increasing, decreasing on. Okay, so we're going to say increasing from 1 to 5, decreasing negative infinity to 1, and 5 to infinity.